Hi, it's Kit Allowitz. Welcome to Disciplined Selling, follow-up and reinforcement, as well as an assignment for you today. As a reminder, we often need to be reminded more than we need to be instructed. Thus, the value of this video reminding you of the concepts, the skills, and the takeaways from the Disciplined Selling program that you've already attended. Also, may I remind you that we often practice far less than we know. This is giving you a chance to practice more of the things you already know on your journey to becoming as efficient and effective as you can in the world of sales, the exciting world of sales. Today's lesson and video is the final model of the order process, results. We're going to talk about results today. And we've been on a long journey. We started with opportunity, getting clear about what spec was, getting clear about the 5 golden questions, and really getting into the far side of complexity on understanding the business opportunity that the client has, and are they in a position to make a well-informed decision? Because once you and the customer understand the opportunity, then you can understand the results, time, people, money. Then you can understand the decision-making process in terms of how are they going to make the decision? What are the steps they're going to go through? Then finally, after all of that quality time on the front end of the sales cycle, understanding, trying to make sure that you understand, then it's your turn to be understood. And that's where we talked about E in the order process, the exact solution. And now finally we're to the last part of it, the results part. Results is kind of icing on the cake. In some other methodologies, this might be where you spend all sorts of time, oodles of time, talking about negotiation, the negotiation process, giving back and forth. From my experience, the more disciplined that you are, the higher courage that you have on the front end of ORD, and then when you present or provide the solution in E, negotiation, you've already worked through it. It's been part of the process, and it's really a function of your ability to have higher courage. When you think it, when you smell it, when you sense something isn't right, or that you need to understand something, you ask then. You don't save all of this till the very end and then makes negotiation some sort of compartmentalized process of winning business. It's part of the process throughout, and it's primarily driven by having higher courage. Being in a spot where mentally, physiologically, psychologically, you just intrinsically believe that you've earned the right to be at the table. You do that because your intent is in the right place. You're focused on getting a solution that the client or the customer really wants, is exactly meets their needs. It's in their own best interest. And then it becomes just a natural byproduct for you to navigate this dialogue back and forth. And when the customer doesn't want to play, then you have a decision. You can blow through that and then potentially get to an outcome that no deal is won, or you can have the high courage and address it right then when it makes sense and turn all of those yellow lights to green lights and keep the dialogue going. And if you can't, then you gracefully exit. So the idea of results, the last letter in the order acronym, is to really get to a spot where they want to buy more from you. And my theory, my promise, my challenge to you is, as you focus on having the discipline to go through this order process, you'll look different than your competitor. You'll have a higher level of skills and a skill set and a methodology that the customer will appreciate, because they'll be able to feel your authenticity in order to get a solution that exactly meets their needs, and that you're not willing to just mess around and waste either of your times, because that's win-win. That's reciprocity. That's fairness. And so this week I'd like to challenge you that I'd like you to work on getting to the spot where you help the customer make a decision. Pick one, right? Practice with your accountability partner, but then pick one customer that is on the fence, that hasn't made a yes or no decision. You remember from the last video, in order to get to a decision, you have to make yes or no perfectly fine. They're both equally acceptable in your mind. The customer has to feel that. It's just that no decision is also a decision, and it's not a good decision. So help the customer get off no decision, unknown to you. And that's my challenge to you this week, is to find one. Because chances are you've got one. Most of us do, and it's where we end up spinning our wheels and spending far too much of our time. Have the courage, have the consideration, have the discipline, and help a customer get off indecision. And therefore, at this point, you've completed a refresher, a reminder of what the order process is. A simple, sequential, holistic framework that gets you through the business development process and helps you increase your win rates. And the framework is so powerful because as you understand this framework, ORDER, and you follow the process within each of the steps, unequivocally, just like the law of gravity, you can't but get better results. Increased win rates, less time spinning your wheels on deals that go nowhere. I'm Kit Allowitz. I'm with Disciplined Selling. We'll see you next time.